In this video, I would like to share few tips to follow while using formulas in Excel. The first one is how to keep the arguments container away. Whenever you type a formula and open the parenthesis, you will be getting the arguments container, which shows what arguments you need to supply to the formula so that you will get the final result. This is always attached to the formula and sometimes it may distract you. And you want to keep it away and you are not aware how to do it. In this video, I am going to explain about it. Second thing, how to select a formula without typing complete formula. You need not write complete formula and open the bracket. Rather, you can use a trick so that you can fill the formula completely. The third one is writing formula in a meaningful way using text wrap function. So you can read the formula very easily. And then finally, using N formula to give explanation within the formula in a text format so that the end user of that formula can understand what exactly is that formula is about and he can manage well. First point is how to keep the arguments container away. For that, let me type a function equal VLOOKUP. The moment I open the parenthesis, I can find the arguments container with all the arguments and attach to the function. Sometimes while typing the arguments, the content whatever I am typing will be hidden below this argument container and sometimes I may get distracted. So how to place this particular argument container in a different location? For that, just hover the mouse on the argument container to get the icon, an anchor icon like this, and then click, drag and keep somewhere. I treat this a very important person but should not be in the meeting. So then easily you can look at the arguments and then whatever argument is you supposed to write now is highlighted and then accordingly follow the entire arguments, close the bracket, you will get the result, but still this argument container is available. The next point is how to select a formula or an expression without typing completely. Many Excel users try to type the complete expression and sometimes they end up typing a wrong function and then retype it. To avoid that, equal and type only one or two alphabets of that particular expression and select from the list and then press tab so that the function automatically selected and the parenthesis gets opened. So this is the best practice. So using tab is always the best thing. Select the function and use the tab. The next point is how to write or type a formula in a meaningful way. For example, if you look at this function, this is VLOOKUP function written in single line. Since it is not a complicated function, you can understand things better. But if you write this function in this way, for example, after VLOOKUP, the lookup value is in single line and then the table array in the second line and then the column index number in another line and finally true or false in another line will be very easy to understand. Another example, if you look at this if function, it's a nested if function where if E4 equal to 1, then it is 500. And again another if E4 equal to 2, then 600, and it is going on. So sometimes this function is not very easy to understand by the users. But if I write or type this function in this fashion, if E4 equal to 1, in the next line should be 500. If E4 equal to 2, the next line it is 600. Likewise, if you write, you can understand each argument properly and also each value properly. Not only that, how many brackets are open you can understand, you can count them, and accordingly closing the brackets also will be easy. And then building a function is much better in this way. How to do that? You can just build this function, the primary function, and then keep the cursor next of each comma and press Alt Enter and again Alt Enter and again Alt Enter. The same thing can be done while typing the function itself. You can just type that particular segment of the function or argument of the function after the comma. If you press Alt Enter, you will be going to the next line and then you can start typing the function and accordingly you can build the function. So this way, reading the function is very easy to people or users of Excel. The last point for this video is using n formula to give explanation within the formula without disturbing the formula. For example, I've used VLOOKUP function using Alt Enter option, and then when I press F2 I can see the function not only along with the arguments in each separate line, but also I've written another function called n after a plus. Within that n, what is that first line and what is the second line and what is the third line, etc. Same way, when you are writing any complicated formula, after the entire formula you add a plus, and then if you are using n function and give the description, the end user of that formula who is actually looking into and trying to understand your function can easily understand what you are trying to tell out of that function and what you are actually getting out of that function. It's easy approach. Hope you understood the tips which I have provided in this video, and if you have any doubts, please mention them in the comment section. And if you like this video, please share with many, and please don't forget to subscribe, because as and when I upload a new video, you'll be getting the updates. Also, please keep asking questions so that I'll be able to create videos on them. Thank you very much.